Alright, this video is going to talk about metadata and the map module in Lightroom. Metadata is basically data about data, and it is all of the information that we have stored in a file that helps describe that file and talk about that file. And Lightroom uses that metadata really powerfully. Lightroom is a database, so database is just simply a collection of data. And so we have our photos that we've imported in, and part of that data would be a preview of that image. So I could click on a photo and look at it pretty quickly without having to see the actual image. Other pieces of data would be basic stuff like the file name, maybe the size of the photo, the date the photo was created, the type of photo it is, the location of the photo. Right now I'm in the map module here, and map module gives us a chance to look at a lot of different information really readily, location of where that is, and Lightroom does this really well, and there are times that this is useful. So I'm going to talk briefly about this, and Q&A as always. All right, so this catalog here is my Great Divide Trail catalog. So this is all the images that I made in 2016 while walking approximately 750 miles from the US-Canada border, way down here, all the way up through to Kakwa Provincial Park. To get this GPS data, I used my iPhone to make these images, and so these are all tagged iPhone images. So if I can zoom in here with the map, get in close to things. I can then move around a little bit, and a list of images, numbers will show up, and those will be the images that I took in that location. So this is the Fording River Trail, or Fording River Pass Trail right there. So then, and that corresponds then with this place on the map. And if I click on this, it will then take me to those images in my catalog. So I don't use the map module a lot, but it is really useful in this case when I'm traveling to be able to go through and look at different things there. So here's another piece of trail and another series of photographs from there. So we can, lots of different ways we can look at this. We can zoom in and out of things, of course. You can change your map style around, so that's terrain. This is the hybrid. There's also just a straight up satellite view. And I forget where, yep, they're pulling it all from Google, all of that information. So I can also, in my images here, if I'm scrolling through, and let's say I've got to find something here, and on this trip, I made about 7,000 photographs between my iPhone and my Fuji camera that I took, so a huge number. So if I click on an image here, and I want to see where that is, and one, I need an iPhone image. So let's see if I can find one of those. I gotta go this way. I know where I am. All right, so if I click on this image here, it's got a little geotag on there. I can click on that, and it will take me to exactly where that image was made. And then if I click on this, it will show me all of the photos then selected that were taken there in that location. So we're gonna go, let's go right up here. Okay, and then let's actually go here, because this is Flow Lake, or really close to Flow Lake. And made a lot of photographs here at Flow Lake, and what I want to do is just talk a little bit about different ways that we can bring stuff in. So in the map, I can pull up images, I can look at stuff, I can zoom in and out, and then with my iPhone I'm capturing that GPS data there. Okay, so let's go and find hybrid, and am I even recording right now? Okay, so here we are, Flow Lake. And these are a couple of my favorite images here. Out of nowhere, there's this park sign, and it is somebody teeter-tottering, and it's right here at Flow Lake, which is an absolutely beautiful place. So if I go, this image here has got this GPS data on it. Let's look at just one. There we go. So I've got GPS data here. So I'm going to capture that. I'm going to copy it. And then if I wanted to apply that to this photograph or to this one, I could do that. See how this image here is a Fuji photo and it has no GPS, but I could just go ahead and paste that in. And I'd have something that's really close and doing that. So now I've added some data about this image right here. So let's go in and keep playing with this image a little bit here in library. All right. So in library, we're going to have the rest of our keywords over here. All of our keywording is going to happen over here. And keywording is just going to be words that describe a photograph. So here I could put in lake, Canada, reflection, Rockies. It's the Canadian Rockies. Maybe I want to put in Canadian Rockies. And now when I press enter, all of those keywords now have been written to this photograph. And I can scroll down here and be able to look at that right here. So here in my keyword list now, I now have that information pulled up. Other pieces of metadata that we're going to have in our image, copyright status, which I'm going to talk about here in a second, ratings. So this image, we could rate it and also put a color label on it. This gives us the dimensions, capture time. So this was taken at 7:12 p.m. approximately on July 27th, 2016. And then what lens I was using, the ISO, and my exposure information there. And there's that GPS info that we just did. So if I click on one of these, it's going to then show me photos that were taken with that same information or in that same location would pop up there. So all of these little tabs then are ways of getting into pulling information out. If I was going to publish this image, I could use the title and caption functions right here also. And then I have my copyrighted status. So let's talk a little bit about that. Let's just pick another photo here to play with. Let's look at this one. So maybe I want to take this photo here, and I want to go ahead and add some keywords to this. Now you'll notice that the keywords that we just used will all show up here in the keyword reflection and suggestions. So I can put in reflection, Canada, lake, Canadian Rockies, and then I've got Opus the dog right here, and I've got my cousin River right there. So I can add their names in also. And this is a great way of then being able to search for that stuff later on. What's nice is this keyword information then will get exported out with a photo while you're making a new copy of it. And then you have options there for using that later on. All right, so let's look at doing a preset here. So if we wanted to change your copyright, you can do that. The preset thing though is pretty cool. If I take an image, I can just go ahead and go in here and you can edit a preset or make a new preset. And so right now we're into the edit metadata presets. And I can go in here and add whatever information that I want. So here I've added custom information. So this has my name, year, copyrighted. It's got my address, website, and that's the information that I'm adding to this. I can then go ahead and save that as a new preset. This is my JCM one here, so that's an updated one. So if I wanted to update it, I could do that too, and just press done. And now that file is going to have updated copyright information in there. Nice thing about this metadata too is these presets then can be put in when you import your files into Lightroom, which is also very useful. So in the import process, that stuff just comes right in. Now, if I wanted to, another way of applying keywords is I can go on here, zoom out. All right. If I'm in grid mode, here we go. I've got my spray can, my paint can, and I can paint keywords in. So, and because I've already put stuff in, as soon as I hit down the shift key, I can start selecting things in here. So I'm going to select Canada, Opus in there. And now I have my paint can, and I can just go in and I can assign those keywords to these images. And you'll notice as I do that, this icon is added to the bottom there, meaning that keywords have been applied. All right, so in summary, metadata is data about data. We've got lots of different types. In Lightroom, we've got flags, we've got color labels, we've got ratings, we have keywords that are hashtags basically to describe a photo. We have GPS data that then shows up in our map view so that we can track that information. And we also have copyright information and all of the information about your photos. Just a little tidbit, I can always look back and see exactly when your image was captured and then created. And I have caught more than one student turning in old homework before when I've expected new work, just FYI, not to scare anybody off. Do remember that in Lightroom, flags are not metadata that are recognized by other pieces of software. So Capture One Pro does not recommend to use flagging system. I don't believe Photo Mechanic does either. So the flag is really kind of just an Adobe-centric rating that, so if you're going between different pieces of software, flags don't work so well. So I've moved away now from using flags because I'm using multiple different types of software for my edits. All right, I hope this is helpful, and post them in the Q&A with those questions. Thanks.